Hey girls, so I'm just reaching out to kind of give some more clarification for your personal finance project. So with economics, we understand that there's, macroeconomics, which is economics on, a global scale, looking at global markets. And then we have microeconomics, which deals with the household, um, individual finances and things like that. So when it comes to personal finances, right? The whole goal of this project is to kind of really take into account things that we've learned already this year. Things like opportunity cost, right? Um, you know, perhaps perhaps you really enjoy, Vincent's Pizza. However, a Vincent's Pizza might cost you $15 to take home and it would only feed you for 2 or 3 days. Whereas if you went grocery shopping, you could buy, um, 5 pounds of chicken, you could buy rice, you could buy vegetables, and you could have an entire dinner for maybe 3 or 4 nights. That's healthier, and you could spend the same amount of money. This is what we talk about when we're looking at, opportunity costs. What would buying the pizza cost you? It would cost you health and it would cost you money because it's more expensive. Whereas if you were to purchase the broccoli, the chicken, and the rice, it's not as delicious as pizza, which is an opportunity cost. However, you would find that the value in that is greater, right? Opportunity cost deals with decision making. You make choices, but there's always a best next alternative. In this situation, what would your best next alternative be to buying the chicken, the broccoli, and the rice? It would be buying the pizza. So when we're looking at our personal finance project, right? When we're looking at our personal finance project, um, this is something that we need to take into account. Okay, so the whole entire goal of this is to kind of see how well you can collect data and show me how to keep your own, monthly, um, monthly personal finance sheet. So this is the goal. You need to find a job that's going to give you an income. The job that you choose, you're going to have to go to college to get it, right? You go to college prep school, you have to go to college to get this job. When you land this job, you will get a salary, right? And you will lead a career. Maybe you really want to volunteer at the SPCA shelter, right? You really want to volunteer there. You love animals. However, it's volunteer work. That's not a job, right? You don't get any income from that. So maybe you decide to yourself, you know what? I can't work as a volunteer for the rest of my life. However, maybe what I can do is I can go to college and get a business degree and open my own shelter, right? Maybe I can get a business degree in nonprofit organizations. And then when I get that business degree, I can open my own shelter and make money that way, right? That's the purpose of finding your career. Maybe you really want to be a doctor someday, right? So that's something you have to take into account. Okay, I want to be a doctor. However, can I afford to be in school for 10 years? You might say, you know what? I really want to be a doctor someday, but I don't think I can do that right out of college. Maybe instead, I'll get a job in the medical field and then go back to school later, right? Maybe you'll do that. Maybe you'll become a nurse instead because maybe you can't afford to be in college for 10 years, but you can afford to be in college for 4 years. And then you can become a registered nurse that way and still help people. So think about the job you would want to pursue after graduation, right? What is it? What skills or talents are needed for this job? What is the outlook? What is the outlook for your job or career? Okay. What is the starting salary? These are things you have to these are things that you have to take into account. Okay? So the outlook, I know that some of you asked me questions about the outlook of the career, right? This is basically the nature of the work, the working conditions, the training and education, the earnings. Um, Pretty much it's just, what does it entail? You can visit the Bureau of Labor Statistics to find out more about it, but this is part of what you're supposed to do. right? This is part of what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to kind of do research to build your project. And your project doesn't have to be any more than 12 slides. Um, you know, if you keep going down here, what's your average salary for your job in Pennsylvania? What level of education does this require? Right? This could be all on your nursing page. Like, if you want to be a nurse, it could be all on one page. My occupation is to be a nurse. And then pretty much, girls, you just have to go through this every single check and make sure that you include information for each of these bullets, right? So, for example, when you're looking at your position, you have to talk about, why you're interested in this career. For example, I gave you like mine, right? I said that my salary was $1 million, and it was a bachelor's degree to become a teacher. And why are you interested in this? Because I want to give back to my community. I want to shape the minds of young women, and that's pretty much what I expect from you in that general sphere. When it comes down to monthly expenses, right? You can make an entire page, groceries. You can make an entire slide, apartment living, and you can provide like a picture of your apartment, the apartment complex. And then on that picture, you can do bullet points like, rent, utilities, Netflix, Hulu. That can all be on one page. It could be like apartment living, and then you can put a picture of your apartment, maybe the Netflix logo, stuff like that. If you have a pet, you can upload a picture of your pet and talk about pet expenses. Really, it's up to you. You can I know that we struggle with like a lack of. I know that we struggle when we're given projects that allow us to have some type of freedom. However, I think you guys are going to do really well with this. You just have to formulate, a PowerPoint that shows me that you did the research and that you kind of have a grasp of, what goes into your life after you graduate from college. If you want, like for the grocery shopping, you should go and look at, Acme Giant. I know some of you couldn't access Acme's website, but you could access Giant's. And then, when it comes to like apartments, you can find one on Zillow, apartment.com. I kind of gave you your student loans, like your bachelor's degree. I fixed that. But if you want to do a college slide and maybe write, like, do a college slide and, say, I want to go to LaSalle University because my parents went there. I feel a great source of pride. I want to stay in Philadelphia. You can do that if you want to. You don't have to, but you can if you want. But basically everything that's on here is necessary to hit. And then here, like, girls, the rubric's your bread and butter. Refer back to the rubric and say, okay, did I come up with original ideas? Is it creative? Did I just, open up a blank PowerPoint and did I just type everything on there and then say, okay, done? No, you have to make it yours. You have to make it look nice, right? You have to make it look attractive. You have to nail the requirements above. Please, for the love of Mary and Joseph, no spelling or grammatical errors, right? That is the easiest 4 points you're going to get on here. Make sure it's organized, right? Make sure on your slide for groceries, if you have a table, which you should, if you have a table that kind of shows me like, okay, groceries, this costs this costs that, and that's what I'm going to buy each week, right? That's how it should be organized. Make sure it's clear. Don't put your Netflix account on your groceries page. It's pretty much as easy as that. For the oral presentation, I already told you guys this. If you are severely uncomfortable with talking in front of a Zoom session, I'm not going to force you to do that. I'm not evil. So please just shoot me an email and tell me, hey, I'm not comfortable with this, right? But if you do that, you are still expected to show up on the day that your classmates are presenting on Zoom. Sources, right? For every picture, every quote, every logo, for every, price, you need to have a source. Your source could be acme.com. Your source could be, netflix.com for the picture of the Netflix account you have. Maybe you took a logo from LaSalle University and you're going to have to cite, LaSalle's website for that image. Make sure that they're actually in like a works cited format so that when you go to put them in your bibliography, which is necessary, right? Because you need to do that works cited page at the end. You can just copy and paste your works cited into that. You will lose points if you don't do that. You need to cite your sources. And then basically your second to last page of your PowerPoint will be a brief bio page, because the last page is the works cited. The second to last page of your PowerPoint will be a brief bio page. So you would say, my name is Courtney Weiss. I graduated from LaSalle University. You don't even have to use the school. But you could say, I have a bachelor's degree in the arts. I have a Bachelor of Arts. I am a teacher. I live in apartment, 220 in Manayunk, Philadelphia at the, I'm just making this up, at the historical apartment centers. I shop at Acme, or, I wanted to become a teacher because it's a valuable education and I enjoy working with young people. Just like a couple things about yourself in a picture, right? 4-bullet biography. It's not going to be a lot. So, where do you live? What type of lifestyle do you maintain? And just like fun facts about yourself that where you see yourself when you graduate from college, right? So I hope that this clears some things up. Please just use this as your guide. Don't get stressed out. I know it's your first time doing this project. It's going to be my first time grading it. So it's going to be fine. If you need advice for sources, just let me know. But I gave a couple of examples. 10 slides shouldn't be too hard to handle. So please let me know if I can do anything else to help you guys. I hope that this offered a little bit more guidance. Shoot me an email if you still have some unanswered questions. All right. Good luck.